you learn 100% through your mistakes. And I think, like you said earlier, a lot of times people see like it's up here, but you don't really realize what it takes to get there. Like all those people had to fail 1,000 times to get to that spot.
550 kids out of 1,900 square feet, and he's also doing a couple hundred parents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why this man's not sleeping. You're taller than I would have imagined.
You're a lot taller than I imagined.
Hello and welcome to this week's Gym World Worldwide. I am your host, John Franklin, doing a series of in-person episodes in Red Bank, New Jersey, not joined by my co-host, Mateo Lopez. We miss you, but with me today is a very special guest. It is Kevin Higgins of Stonefitt Performance. Kevin holds the record for most technical difficulties within a Gym World episode. So this is actually going to be a redo of one we did already. So I already know what to ask him. It's great. You guys are going to get all the value. Kevin, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm glad we were finally able to make this happen.
I'm glad we're going to have the audio. We're going to have the video. For those of you that don't know Kevin, Kevin came on my radar through a mutual friend, Sam Tooley, who owns Alpha Fit. Go listen to his episode. That's a great one. He said Kevin is better than anybody he knows at getting youth athletes into his gym, but he does it by selling the parents first. And we're going to get into that, but explain to people what your gym is, what you do.
So our gym's kind of a combination of obviously adults and kids. We had originally started with only kids. That was the whole mission behind it, was to train better athletes and do the things that I wish I did when I was younger and what I needed. And from there, a few kids' parents kind of just were like, "Hey, can you start working us out?" And then one kid led to two, and then led to a bunch of parents, and then I never really looked back. So we do a functional fitness, where not CrossFit, but not like an alpha, kind of our blend on functional bodybuilding. And then for kids, we do all different types of programs, whether it's speed and agility, strength and conditioning, and every hour of the day, as busy as we can.
Yeah, you're a hard man to schedule. We got all kinds of busy people. Kevin appears to be the busiest. You're kind of like a one-man show, right?
As of right now, where I'm just starting to delegate work, to the right people. Thankfully, trying to grow our team the best I can, so I can do more stuff like this.
How many hours a week are you working right now? Be honest.
I mean, realistically, today, I haven't been home since 4, so I haven't been home. I grabbed a quick smoothie for breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to call it, and I won't be home till about 8:30.
All right.
That's typically Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday is pretty intense.
Burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's paying off for you, right? We'll get into your numbers here shortly, but to hook the viewers, let them know how many kids you are working with from your space is 1,200 square feet?
No, 1,900.
19? How many kids you got?
Each program, we run 6-week programs. We typically have anywhere between 100 to 200. That's typically, but then we do a lot of outside training in the summer. So right now in a total, we probably have about, 550 in the whole summer programs. 550
kids out of 1,900 square feet, and he's also doing a couple hundred parents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why this man's not sleeping. And you're a young guy, right? How
25.
25, and did you ever do anything else, or?
So I was originally going to go play football at Wagner, and then that dream kind of ended. And then I think at the
injury
time,
or what? Or
no, so I committed there, and my uncle lived in Staten Island, and he was into training and stuff. So what happened was he got pancreatic cancer, and I think the love for me wanted to play football. And I was on scholarship, but I just didn't love football, and to do that you had to really love it. So it was the greatest thing that never happened to me. So then from there, getting used to taking care of him when he was on hospice, I guess I just wanted to become a nurse. So my mother's a nurse, my sister's a nurse, my cousins. So I went to go become a nurse, and then the nursing school was really difficult. And then my twin brother, and my twin brother's a union guy, my dad's a union guy, so I went to go join local 3 electrical union. Took the test, took all the exams. I started working under somebody, fell through a ceiling, hated it, and I was like, what, this really isn't for me. And then my boss's son wanted me to train him, and then I trained one of his friends, and then 2 friends, and then it kind of just took its course.
Because you were just a big guy? You just looked you're the type of guy
he saw my foot. We were actually walking into the electric store at the time to go pick up material from the job, and someone was like, "Oh, I remember you. You were a great football player. Why didn't you ever play?" And he was like, "I didn't know you played football." And then he started looking at my highlights and he was like, "Oh, wow, you have a lot of accolades. Can you teach my son something?" And then that was really it.
So then you started probably doing it for what, free 25?
Yeah, it was literally, I think it was anybody. It was free workouts, free this. I started coaching actually back at the high school a year and a half out of high school. I started coaching at the same high school, so I was still young. I still knew a lot of the kids. So really, I never left high school because I still coach there.
And is that how you met Sam? Sam was like
No, so I met Sam probably actually last summer. He reached out to me and he was like, hey man, we definitely have to connect. Like, we're cut from the same cloth. I see what you're doing. And then we just, met through the grapevine. I guess obviously I own a gym in town. He owns a gym in town. And like, he's one of the only people I actually not that I don't respect a lot of people, but like, he reached out to me. He was super cool, and like, he kind of saw my business model and what I wanted to do, and he was like, hey, like, let me help you do it this way. I think it's a lot better. So like, kudos to Sam. Like, he's a really, really good dude, and I think that's why I like him so much and blend with him, is because like, relationship over transaction for him, same concept. So like, to me, that was, spoke volume.
And Kieran is also within 2 miles of here. Brian Bott, who we just had on the show.
Yeah. Those are two dudes who I respected tremendously. Like, Kieran, I went to the garage gym. What he's doing is absolutely awesome. Brian, like we said earlier, I said Brian's got the dopest spot I've ever seen.
Yeah. And so, just so you guys at home are listening, like, this is one of the most concentrated competitive markets that I've ever been to. So I've traveled to a lot of places. I've traveled to a lot of gyms. I lived by here, and I lived south of here, owned a bunch of facilities north of here. This area here is one of the hardest to make it happen in the world, and you have so many phenomenal gym owners here. And everyone's learning from each other. So you can see he knows all his competitors. They go to each other's spots. It's not like, they're probably not, you're not having them over for dinner every Sunday.
No, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of business to be shared. So, we all make it work, because in the end, business is obviously hard. So, you took the jump to start a business. So I hope you're successful, and then vice versa. And, I think us all helping each other helps us all.
It's cool that you can learn from it. And so did you start off, you were training people on the side. Mm-hmm. How did that turn into your own facility? How'd you get the money? How'd you become a...
Yes, I mean, I have no investor, no startup. Like, what it was I bought a pack of cones and a ladder. So like $50, 2 ladders actually. And then I would just post every day, whoever wanted to train, $5 a kid, free, literally whoever wanted to train. I was driving to Staten Island, spending $50 on tolls to make $5. But to me, it was just like, get my name out there, get exposure. I was offering tons of free work, and then I just continued to grow. And because I coached at the high school, one of the athletes' mothers owned a private training facility that was small. Maybe it was 1,000 square feet. So I just started training out of there. She let me train kids out of there. And then it just continued to grow. COVID hit, and then we went online, and then we just continued to grow our brand, and then I just took a crazy chance.
Yeah, Brian was telling me at lunch that you're kind of like everybody knows you in your town. Like you're like an institution, and your family too. Like you guys are you're just that guy.
Well, yeah, we have a big family. I mean, all my cousins families of 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm a family of 7. There's a lot of us. We all went through Middletown education. We used all our resources. We all excelled in sports.
So 400 of the kids are just your cousins.
All my cousins, exactly.
And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you had the studio open, 1,900 square feet. Run us through the day, because it's pretty complicated what you got going on. Explain.
It's extremely confusing, and most people, if you look at it from the outside lens, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's a reason you're working 16 hours a day.
I'm definitely doing more work than I should, and like, our plan is to obviously consolidate and make it a lot smoother. So we'll have our 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7, 8, 9. Those are all our adult classes. And like right now, for the summer purposes, we'll have a 10, 11, 12. And then we'll go again 3, 4, 5 kids, and then 6 p.m. adults, and then 7 p.m. kids. So it's just, and then during the day, anyone wants to personal train, we do tons of personal training.
All right, so let's break down the adult piece first. Like, if you go to your website, are you marketing towards kids, adults, both? You have
we had a team meeting the other day, and like, one of our trainers had asked me that, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't even know what I'm marketing to. I'm just marketing everything, our total brand, the community, like, just grow in any direction I can. And my whole goal is, like, I want to put like a lead marketing team on the kids and a lead marketing team on the adults. That way it's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just brute force. Success by brute force is kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Exactly, like consistent action, consistent result.
Yeah, just don't kill yourself. Don't have like a stroke or anything.
It's tough.
Like
it's
that.
Definitely tough.
All right, so with the parents, are you selling monthly memberships? Are you selling class packs? What's your
parents, we sell a monthly membership.
Okay, what does that run?
Anywhere between $115 to $135, depending if they're heroes or stuff.
Okay.
Like whether they're nurses, police, anything, veterans. And then our kids are per class, and our per class kind of varies because if you book like 12-week sessions, which is twice a week, 24 sessions, it's like $15 a class. And then if you book 6, it's $20 a class, but most of the time people bring their siblings, so I always just cut them a break and take like $90 off. So it's more of just quantity, a lot of people. Like that's the whole reason I think we do well is because a lot of gyms have to charge so much because they only have kids or they only have adults. But if I can cut both of them completely in half, it helps the everyday family because in the end, like everyone wants to do those things, but it doesn't make sense to spend that much money.
Yeah, we're doing this show live, but I'll probably have Imran share some of your Instagram clips. Like it's a small space and it is packed the fuck out. Like it looks like it smells in there sometimes.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. You get one time with someone who smells, you got to throw them out.
And so, all right, we got and. If you're an adult train, you train in the morning.
Yep.
Nothing in the evening. Or you said 1 hour in the evening.
1 hour in the evening. Our goal is to get 2 hours in the evening. So
Okay.
my goal is to have a 6 and a 7 p.m. as much as like a 4 and 5 would be ideally as to a lot of people. Unfortunately, I have too many kids. I can't walk away from that. Because kids pay by the session. And my kids is what I started with, so I'll always have the kids. I can't get away from that. That's how I started.
So explain how that works, because a lot of people want to run a kids program. So I've been doing marketing to gym owners a lot.
Yeah.
And lead magnet that really works well is, how to launch a kids program.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I tried it a couple times in a few different gyms and was never really able to get something off the ground because it was so complicated.
It is complicated.
You have like age groups, so you don't want like a 5-year-old working out with a 10-year-old. Once they get older, it has to be sports specific stuff.
Yep.
So what a wrestler needs and a football player, you got the football neck. I was a swimmer. I got a swimmer's neck. We need to train for different things there, different rep ranges. And then scheduling is so difficult because you got, Johnny has to take a test, Steve's in detention.
That's the hardest one.
Practice is 3 to 4 this season, and then off season it's 5 to 6. So it's constantly playing this game of Tetris. So how do you build up a book of 550 kids, and how does that scheduling
I
work?
think the biggest thing is just building the reputation as like this is the ultimate kids program. Like athletes train athletes, right? Like if you want to go to a swimmer and you want to go to a swim coach, you're going to find someone who excels in swimming and who does really good, and like you can do the same drills. So I would never teach something that I'm unable to do. So when the kids see me do the drills and they see me do it a million miles an hour and they see me bring in really big face kids, and we have kids going to Michigan, we have kids going to Oklahoma, kids going to Texas, you have kids at Rutgers, and when you have these kids come in and for a young kid to see that and see how you work with them and your relationship with them, and it's all being comfortable with them and building the relationship. I never look at kids as to make money. It's just like it's a relationship. How can I change this kid's life for the future? And I think from that it kind of sells itself. And the biggest problem when random gyms, I should say, start doing kids programs, well, it's like, well, you're doing it as a money grab. You're not really an athlete. I'm always an athlete at heart, and I've always been into athlete training. That was my bread and butter. That's what started me. And then, the adults is an addition, and adults is a lot easier to get into as opposed to kids. So I think that's where I excel. And, that's my niche. A lot of people, it's hard.
And you sell it in 6-week blocks, right?
Yeah, correct.
So you're not selling like a year-long membership. You're
No.
selling like, Johnny, you come in for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to train 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, so it's always twice a week. So you come in 6 weeks, and you train twice a week. Right? If you do the speed and agility program, it's typically Mondays and Wednesdays. Our strength program is Tuesdays and Thursdays, because a lot of kids do come in and out, and they're like, all right, well, I have football, so I'll train 6 weeks leading up to it. So that this program leads right into football season, I'll get in good shape. This program leads into basketball season, I'll get in great shape.
What does that run typically? Like
Price-wise?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll say like $240 online, but then like we'll always throw like, hey, 10% off, 15% off. It always comes down to anywhere. If I had an average class price, it would be $17
Per session.
Yeah, which it compared to everyone else is $35, $30. Because I mean, I come from a big family, my brother, me. So like, if we're going to train, I can't hammer my parents for $60 twice a week. That's a lot for a lot of people. So you try to give back as much as we can.
Well, Rumson Red Bank, you can. I mean, I think the cheapest home you can buy in this town is what, like $1.5 million?
It's ridiculous, but still, I still create. Like I know, like there's like a few competitors who are, when we go to the new gym, because we're opening one pretty close to here, and like I looked at their programs and I'm like I charge half of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we'll talk about the new facility and what you got going on over there, but I wanna unpack the existing one for for the people listening at home, because it's definitely peculiar and you're definitely breaking a lot of rules.
Oh, every rule in the book.
But somehow some seems to be working. So you'll have the 6-week thing, and how do you break that up? Do you do age group, or is it sport specific? Like, because you're running a bunch at the same time,
specific,
right?
So I think a lot of gyms fail, or especially like athlete gyms, because they do sports specific because you cater to one group and you want to cater to everybody. So we do a basic speed and agility program. One day we work our top speed mechanics, force absorption. The next day we'll work a lot more lateral quickness, change direction, more plyo agility. So we'll go elementary school. I don't really train anyone from, like, if I have a lot of 7-year-olds, I'll have its own 7 and 8-year-old group.
Okay.
And then I'll do middle school, and then I'll do high school. But a lot of times, if I have
7, 8, that's like 4th, 5th grade. My kids aren't that old yet. So.
Yeah, so 4th grade is 8.
Okay, so it's third, 4th grade. Basically.
Yeah. But like a lot of times, like if you're 7, like I'll like vet you a little bit before. I'll have you come to a workout where like I know there's not as many kids, so I can see you move first, because there is some 7-year-olds who move unbelievable. Like I have 2 kids who are in 6th grade who are, I mean, lights out, and I can never put them with other 6th graders because they wouldn't get what they need out of it. And, in order to grow, you have to put yourself around people who are better. So I'll put them with my juniors and seniors in high school. And like my older kids, they don't care because, one, it's going to push them. Because I tell them, like, listen, dude, this kid can move. And I guarantee he beats you. And then,
you don't want to get beat by a 6th grader.
Exactly.
Or something like
It's
that.
embarrassing. So it sharpens iron.
So basically, you got 7, 8, that's one cohort. You got middle school, that's a cohort.
Correct.
And then you got high school as a cohort.
Yep.
And then you also mix in team-specific stuff, right? Like you have teams that contract.
So we have a lot of like softball teams, baseball teams, where like they want to work a lot more like rotational because they're obviously hitting the ball, fielding the ball. So we'll do them typically, as much as it sucks, like 8 p.m. at night. It's tough when you got to go teach at 5 a.m. and then you finish at 9 and then you clean and set the gym. You're out of there by 10.
And so the team will contract, like you'll make a deal through the team, or you?
Through the team, yeah. So I'll create a certain link for their team on our website that they'll have to go fill out. And they'll get like a team discount. They come in and then,
but the team pays you, or you still selling to all the different parents on the team?
Oh no, the team, every parent pays on the team.
Okay, so it's just like, hey, we work with Kevin.
Yeah.
He's been doing good stuff. If you want your kid to work with Kevin, here's the link.
Yeah, like I mean, just today we got a call, 2 calls actually for 2 teams that want to book. One team wants Monday, Wednesday, one team wants 7 to 8, and the other team wants 8 to 9. They want to pre-book right now for our November session, which is like in 12 weeks. So it's like it's tough because now I have to go buck that out, and it has to make sense.
Right, and you got to fit it in with all the other stuff, and you don't know what it is now because we're filming this July 22nd.
Yeah,
so that's
tough.
2-3 cycles away, basically.
Exactly. So it's like, so I'll put it down, and then when the time comes, and November's our busiest time, and I have all these other kids who want to come in because all fall sports end. So there's like a good, I'd say 4 weeks before winter sports. Not as many kids do winter sports as opposed to spring, at least where we train, and then so that's like the toughest part is like how do you get every kid in there? You don't want to say no to people. But it's like last year, we had to turn down a lot of teams and a lot of kids, unfortunately, but like fortunately at the same time.
Hey, gym owners, are you looking for a way to generate more leads, close more sales, and increase client retention? Introducing Kilo. We are a software company that gives gym owners the tools they need to increase revenue and run a successful gym. With Kilo, you get a beautifully designed website to capture more leads, an integrated marketing automation platform to increase sales, and our gym management software, so you can add new client memberships, process payments, and organize your class schedule. If you're ready to upgrade your gym management software, book a call at usekilo.com.
And so you're doing this crazy grind. You're burning the candle at both ends. And then what you told us last time is you're getting a lot of clients because you still work at the school, right?
Yeah, I still do. I still coach, actually. Yeah, like just tonight, actually, it's from 5:30 to 7, I have to go to coach. It's a free clinic for all Middletown Eagles, so I have to go there, run it right near Cruden Hall, and then right after that, I have to go to a 7-on-7 for the high school I coach at.
And you're doing that like pro bono, right? Like
I don't get paid for that. No,
that's just
not
like
at all.
that's your marketing budget right there.
Yeah, it's my marketing budget. It's also, I just also love coaching too. Like it's just fun, and I also think it makes me a better coach when I coach other people because I don't know. I think coaching football helped me tremendously in terms of business.
I think Sam told us he had the exact same start. I think he
Yeah,
started
he was a track coach.
for free, I think.
Yeah.
And then like minimum wage, and then that
Yeah.
turned into side business. And
Yeah.
so maybe there is something like that if you want to be the sports guy.
It does help.
Get involved with sports, I
It
guess.
definitely helps, but it helps you a coach. You know, you get like more of a face in the town, and you build a great reputation.
So is your advice to a gym owner who isn't sports specific, isn't in these communities, is just like, don't do it? It's not worth it? Or
No, I mean, definitely do it. I mean, it's definitely worth it. I think a lot of times it is extreme delayed gratification, like to a new level. Because like when you're doing it for the first 2 years and you're like, I'm not making any money and I'm wasting all my time.
Yeah.
Like literally all of my time. And I'm giving back so much, but you don't see anything. And then you just have to like pray that it's going to happen. And, you know, that's where the delayed gratification comes in. Like, okay, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's going to come back.
for context, like what's a good month for you now?
A lot. Yeah.
What's a lot?
I mean, like more than I ever imagined, I should say. But right now, unfortunately, like I don't see any of it. Everything's back into it.
Yeah, because back into the original facility, or I know you're expanding. You're
into
doing
both. Like I have such a good relationship with my Middletown. Like those are my people, and I would never make like this one really extravagant and this one not. Like I couldn't do that to them. So like right now, I just had a meeting today to like we want to raise the ceiling. We're actually going to take half of the store next to us. We're going to add saunas, cold plunges.
And are you renting right now? Are you trying to buy the building? What's the deal there?
I mean, our goal is to buy the building.
Okay.
Like, so, I mean, we propose it all the time. It's just a matter of if they want to sell. But obviously, like no one really wants to. Some people want to sell, some people don't. It's a tough market right now. I'm hoping down the road he lets us buy because it'll make a world's difference.
All right. Yeah, talk to Brian Bott about that. He's got some.
He bought the building.
He owns that Rumson one. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So he's already got some tips on how he did it and stuff. So definitely link up with him. All right, and then one thing we didn't mention yet is one of the expansion plays that you had, which I love, is you rented the space immediately next door.
Yeah.
And you opened you partnered with someone with restaurant experience, and you opened up a smoothie bar.
A smoothie bar.
Salads too, like.
So we do Nutrition Kitchen. So that's a meal prep company, local. It's all fresh, organic food. So she actually comes in, stocks the whole fridge every Sunday. So we'll have that. We all do protein smoothies, coffees, fresh fruit.
And that you were saying that draws in, like that's what high school, like Mateo and I were like, yeah, that's what we did after high school. We go get a smoothie.
Every single kid, and it's actually it actually is the best marketing I've ever did because you're getting people from other gyms to stop in, and now just naturally being next to Stonefitt every day, they're like, oh, what is this? Oh, you know what? Let me come try a class. So now when everyone gets a smoothie, they get, hey, here's a free week next door. So people are like, and they get them every week. Eventually, one of them's going to take them.
Because they're not branded the same, right? So it's like
completely
you got a Trojan horse in there.
It's completely different.
And somebody who's got matcha on the smoothie is going to pay $150 to work out.
So like this weekend, I do a free for the Middletown public an all kids program every Saturday 8 a.m. at the field. So anyone who wants in the whole summer, it's to build better discipline for the kids. But at the end of the workout, like we posted 2 weeks ago. Last week we got rained out, but this week I didn't post, no nothing. I show up, there's 87 kids there. Right, with 87 kids there, every single one of them got a good coupon, buy one get one free.
How many people are coaching that? 87?
No, it's just me.
You coach 87 kids?
Yeah, it's why I'm losing my voice every day. It's a lot of screaming. But you know what it is? I have my high school kids and my college kids, like they do a great job of like giving back. And I'm trying to teach them like to do a lot more for the community because like eventually I want them to become the trainers and them to, hey, you're going to own the gym now, right? I'll help monetize it. I'll give you a percentage, but like, because I want the brand to stay like athletes training athletes. And that's the hardest part is getting the right people to train athletes because you can't just have anyone train athletes if you want it done correctly. Like one of our coaches who we just brought on was the head strength coach at Monmouth University for 11 years. He's got an unbelievable reputation as coached for 20-something plus years, and like he's trained the highest level of athletes. Like he's someone who, I look up to and I'm going to learn a lot from, so I'm excited.
And it was great when you poach from that world. Those guys don't make a lot of money unless you're at the top.
It's actually crazy, and it's like when you look at it and you talk, and you're like, this doesn't even make sense. Like you're here in your knowledge and what you know, and like a lot of times they get so undervalued.
Well, what you're saying is, it's guys that do it for the love of it. But
yeah, they do it for the love of it, and that's the main thing. And that's why I like the people I want on my team are the people who do it primarily for the love of it, and like that's why like I give a small percentage of equity right, to some of my trainers once they hit 3 years with me, because I want you to build the business and I want you to care about the business the same way I care about the business, because that's the only way our team's going to continue to grow. Because a lot of times in this industry, trainers are going to leave, and when they leave, they take a lot of people with them. You know, it's bad blood. And my thing is, like, if you're willing to put in as much work as me and grow this business, then, like, I'm willing to give you some of this business, because it's the same way in sales. You go out there at a top corporation in corporate America and, you know, you sell hundreds of $1 million, your commission is great.
And so are you giving them like a piece of the profit, or are you giving them like actual papered in equity in the business?
So we haven't gotten that far. We started writing contracts. It's rare now, so we'll see.
When did you open?
3 years ago.
Oh, okay. So you're getting to that point. Right?
Yeah. With one of our trainers. Other trainers, he just broke a year with us, and other trainers been with us for about 7 months.
Okay. So staff-wise, it's you. You said you got 2 or 3 trainers?
We have me, Jordan, Connor, Ashley. We have a new trainer who's coming on board. Can't say it yet.
Okay.
And then I have Coach Cornell Key and Jake Crowlin. But then, obviously, my girlfriend, she kind of does everything, too.
So that puts it, so that's 4 on top of you.
Yeah.
How many are full-time?
Soon to be 3 of them.
Okay. So
and the other one's probably going to be us full-time, I'd say, in another year.
And you got like half the family on the payroll, too, right? This is
Yeah. My mom's on there. My sisters are on there.
And they're helping out with
Well, yeah, actually, we incorporated towels. So my mom's got to pick up the towels. She got to wash the towels. She got to put them back in the gym. My younger sister, she goes in, she cleans, vacuums, mops, sets the gym.
So you got the institution. You're like the deli that's been around for 60 years.
Yeah, that's our plan.
The family business, I guess, handed down over and over again. Yeah, like I asked you this last time. It seems like you got a good thing going there. It seems like it's blowing up. It's insane. But you told us you're opening up a new facility.
Yeah.
What's the logic behind that, and what do you got going on over there?
I never really wanted to open the new facility. It was never like in my plans. But really what happened was it kind of fell into my lap. I forgot where I was, and I ran into somebody, and he said, "Oh, if I send you something, can you look at it?" I look at it, and it was for this new Riverwalk, and it looked beautiful. It's where the new Netflix is going. We're going to be in the middle of the Netflix. You know, they showed me the plans, and obviously they paint you this beautiful picture. So I went in there, and I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. And like one of the guys I coach, one of the kids I coach, her dad is the head coach at the local high school. So going into it, I was like, all right, going to the meeting, I was like, all right, well, I know I have my feeder because I trained this team already now. So I know I have my kids. Like as long as I have my kids, I know the rest will work, because the very worst, you'll break even. And then, we went into negotiations, and I was like, yeah, I mean, if you could do this, then I'll do it. And he was like, "Oh, done."
Did it happen?
And I was like, "Oh, this is happening now."
So maybe I said that wrong in the beginning. You focus on the kids first and sell the parents.
Yeah, my whole thing, you need a feeder. You need something that makes you like a town staple, like, something like a resource for the community. So like even the kids, and they'll see, because I'm going to do the same thing I do with Middletown. Like it's a lot of give back. Like we're doing an event October 12th. It's going to be on the high school that I coach at, on the turf. And we're going to we do like a Stonefitt games, just similar to a CrossFit game. So it's an extreme competition. You get a couple hundred people. But this year, we're going to take it to a new level. So we're going to it's like Turf Wars. I'm going to have all of Middletown there. We're going to market the shit out of it. I'm going to get 10 food trucks. It's going to be $25 entry, $40 to participate, but 100% of the proceeds are going back into Middletown scholarships to go towards any kids' events, go towards kids going to school. And the whole goal and objective is to like build this like real community. And like I told them, you don't even have to put my brand on it. Like you don't need Stonefitt on it. Like it'll naturally sell itself. We're going to have a FitSips truck there. But I want all the money to go back into the school. Like, yeah, I mean, you could profit a ton of it, but like, I don't need the profit. It's not for that. It's to show them like, listen, I'm doing this for you. Like, this is to grow the community, because, in fitness, especially like, what separates you from other gyms? Well, ours is like, it really is community. Like we do group runs, we buy everybody breakfast, we buy everybody dinner, our Christmas party, we rent out the entire restaurant. Like it's to make you feel like you're a part of something much bigger.
And you actually had show them. You got the Stonefitt tat right there. I have my that's my first gym logo tatted right there.
There's a sculpture statue.
You never forget it. So why'd you do the double T?
I actually don't know. I just felt like one didn't fit right.
You just wanted it to sound like from Europe or something?
Yeah, I don't know. The one T didn't cut it. I actually maybe think the one T was taken.
Okay, so you need the .com.
Yeah, I needed the .com if I did the extra T, and I was like, all right.
And so you're not doing, it sounds like you said you market the shit out of something, but like you look at your social, it's active, but it's nothing, it doesn't look like Sam's where it looks like
Sam's
there's like an artist and a table full of people.
Yeah, no,
just
this
trying
is
to,
just me. I mean, we pay one video guy, Tom, who's been with me since he was a sophomore in high school. He's a young kid, and now he just stays with it. He just graduated school, so he's been with us for a while, like before I even had a facility, when I was just doing it in the randomly parks. So, I mean, he's evolved a lot, so he's been great. So we have him come and he films 3 times, and we just put out anything we can. Kids, adults.
Yeah, and your online stuff's okay. Maybe Keel will fix that for you, but like...
Yeah, that's a whole conversation we have to do as well.
But... Yeah, so if there's, someone from the show looks all your stuff, there's nothing that looks like you're getting 100 kids to show up for a workout.
No.
So when you say you market the shit out, like you pounding the pace, like what are you doing?
So I'm actually going to bring a whole marketing team on for that.
Well, what are you doing now? Because you're already getting people to all the, like, how are you getting body? Like, what are you doing now if you have an event or you want to get people to show up? Is it just people love you so much, or like you texting everyone's mom? Like, what are you doing?
It really is. Like, we sit down with a bunch of people we're close with, and it's like, hey, you really have to sell this. Like, you have to get people in our door and like spread the word. You ask the right people to spread the word. And honestly, like we train so many kids and families. So when you get the kids that want to come, they want to see their workout. I want to see my mom and dad do the event. Like, can they do it? And then they tell everybody. And when your kid really wants to go to this, you're going to go to it. You're going to do it for your kid, right? You're a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if your kid's sitting there every day, Dad, can we please go? Dad, can we please go? Dad, can we please go?
It's done.
Go.
It's done. And the Jersey Italian family, that's a different breed of loyalty too. Like that. Yeah. No.
I think when people see that, really, like, I'd say, I don't know the actual percentage of it, but like we put a lot back into the people.
Yeah.
And the hardest number when you want to get to the 10s and the 20s and the 30s and so on, like it's very hard to get there. And then you see, oh my God, I'm here, but now I'm spending this. So it all comes back in a circle. But like right now, it's just we want to continue to grow in the right way. We want to continue to build a brand and continue to like market ourselves a little different.
Because you're a little different than the average guest that comes on the show. Like you came on our radar through Sam, but we probably wouldn't have found you organically. Like we typically have someone who's been doing it for 8 to 10 years, and they're at the phase like, when do you want to record? Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, completely open. You're still in that, just.
I know. I look at Sam, and sometimes I'm so jealous. I'm like, this guy gets to he didn't have to go into the alpha today. I mean, he does a lot of back end work, and a lot, especially with his ladder. But I'm like, sometimes I wish I could just sleep in a little longer.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of people will read the headlines of the show, or read the newsletters, and see all these gym owners doing, 100,000 plus a month, taking home 6 figures in income, and kind of forget that there's this stage where, in order to get there, like you gotta grind. Like it doesn't just open and happen.
No. I mean, even think about Sam. Like Sam is someone who, like, same exact situation. He had the small Alpha Performance studio. Hustled, met the right people. The right people helped put him in the right spots, and then he just hustled. Now he's able to not even take a step back. I mean, they're launching Jersey City, they're launching a few locations every month, and they're growing faster than any other gym.
And so what's your plan? Do you look up to him and say, hey, I want to franchise this one day, I want to have 100 of them? Like, what are you trying to do?
I don't think I want to franchise them. I think if I open more, it would be in the right spots, and it'd have to be involved with the kids. Like, I mean, I'm going to run a clinic 3 times a week from December through February in a town. I just can't say, it's not too far, but I like to keep everything within a 20, 30-minute radius so I can still get to them, and it'll organically feed itself.
So how far, the Ocean Port is how far from?
20 minutes.
Okay, so that's 20 minutes. So right now you're just going to focus on staying in this
Monmouth
general
County
vicinity and playing off of the existing network.
Yeah, I think what I would do is I'd have probably 4 in Monmouth County for a while, maybe like 6 years. So if I could have 4, 6 years, and if I can get them each to produce the same, then I would consider, like, okay, maybe I'll start selling some franchises.
Produce the same being like, what would you consider like a home run for you?
I mean, it's got to do a home run. If I can get them each to, let's say, I don't know, taking home 30 a month, that would be great. Each of them, but they would all have to get there.
And that's after you pay out.
That's after you pay out to everybody.
And the people who are going to own little pieces of
that's after everything.
And that type of.
But that's the goal, to get like 4 of them like that.
And so who were you looking to, we talked about Sam, who else were you looking to for inspiration who's kind of helped you navigate gym ownership? This shit's not easy.
I mean, honestly, really no one. Like, honestly, like
just swinging in the dark.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just something that my dad put in us when we were younger. Like, just figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? And I look back on it now and like opening the next gym, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to do this the way I did it. You learn 100% through your mistakes. And I think, like you said earlier, a lot of times people see like it's up here, but you don't really realize what it takes to get there. Like, all those people had to fail 1,000 times to get to that spot.
So it sounded like your first location, you just scratch and clawed, whatever you had to do to get
people in the door.
Okay, and you're opening up this second one. What are you doing differently this second time around? How are you being more strategic?
Using Kilo.
There we go. That's it. That's the only difference. Is going to be bringing home difference. 30 a month.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to use Kilo. But I think I'm going to just try to keep it a lot more organized. I think I'm going to change the structure of the kids. Okay. Actually, when I asked Sam about this, the number one thing, we went out to breakfast, and I asked him, like, what is the biggest jump from 1 to 2? And he was like, honestly, 1 is never going to change because that's what made, like, that's what built you. And you wouldn't be able to have 2 if it wasn't for 1. So, like, no matter what you put in play, a lot of times 1 is going to stay the way it is. Like, in terms of people, like, it's always going to be the same thing. But when I go to 2, I can kind of change the way I program for kids. Like, it'll be a lot cleaner. Like, they have to use the app to sign up rather than just email me. So imagine how many emails I get a day and phone calls.
Wait, that's how you do it now?
So what it is they buy their program, but if like a kid can't come on Monday, he'll come on Thursday, and like they'll call me and email me, and I have to go in the system and try to switch it. But like it's just so hard to stay on top of it. So right now I'm at the point where like I can't think straight because I'm always getting phone calls and emails.
That's why it takes 7 of my messages to try and get through.
I mean, you could see for yourself. Let's see. 700 texts.
So, hold on. Turn that around. That's 777 text messages
19
on red right
missed
now.
calls.
And when did you check this? This is just from 23 Venmo, so that I'm assuming you're taking.
I don't know.
There's some people paying you on the back.
I got 30 Instagrams, and the amount of emails is just insane.
500.
And this is I cleaned it out last week.
So you have so you got over 1,000 messages a week.
Yeah, easy.
And that's just unread. So that includes all the stuff on top of it.
So that's why like sometimes I just get so far behind. So like I'm really, really like our whole meeting. We had a meeting Friday with like our team, and I was like, all right, listen, I'm gonna really start to delegate work because I can't do this anymore.
It seems I don't.
No,
listening to it makes
no sense. And you've been in the business for many, many years. It makes zero sense. Our structure isn't the neatest. It's not the cleanest. So my goal is to clean that up prior to me opening. Like I've never done a pre-sales launch.
How much time do you have before the second one opens?
You know what? They emailed me Sunday and said like, hey, just letting you know, ball's moving. We're switching to bi-weekly meetings. We're looking for end of September, early October.
So you got to figure this out in
tomorrow.
6 weeks basically to train a staff, get ready, figure out how to.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to hire new staff. I'm bringing on one more trainer.
Okay.
And then we're all just kind of rotate.
And are you going to open full schedule over there? Or are you just going to sell a 6-weeker and then kind of build off of that? Like what's the plan?
Probably open full schedule right away.
Yeah. And then you said, I asked you last time who's going to be the guy over there if you're over here. And
I'll be the guy.
And how does that work if you're going to be the guy?
So I'll do, probably for the first 6 months, my plan is to go 5 and 6 at one location, 8 and 9 at the other location. And then for kids, I would train the 3, 4, and 5 at one location, and then the other location switch Monday through Thursday. And then I would just be off on weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And is the expectation that all your coaches keep similar hours to you? Or are they all in the gym from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
They're going to work a lot too, and they know it. Like they're going to have to pick up a workload, but they'd rather. And I was very transparent. Like, hey, do you want me to hire more people? It's up to you. Like, I thought you would want to work more. Like, obviously you work more, you're going to make more money. And they're diehard about the brand too. They believe in it. They trust it. They see the vision, and they know the end goal. And it's like, hey, if you see me doing all this, and I'm the owner, and you're going to be an owner potentially, you should be doing this too. And I know it's it sucks because it feels like you're doing so much. But what really kills me is doing all the adults in the morning and then going to do all the kids at night. Like, that's the hardest part, because then you have a good 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the day, and like, okay, well, now I need to run, I need to lift, I need to make sure I have food. You know, like most people that come home from work, they have time to like unwind, but I don't get the chance to unwind because I come home and I just have my girlfriend flag all the emails, and I get home at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, answer all my emails at night or 4 o'clock in the morning.
She can't do that for you? You're...
Well, she also is a full-time accountant.
Oh, so she at least your books are clean, or she doesn't?
Yeah,
she doesn't take your shit off.
she does. No, she does like everything else I need. But sometimes when she's in busy season, like she answers all the emails. But a lot of times right now she can't answer the athlete emails
because we're in taxi. Like we're getting close.
She can't answer my athlete emails because I structure my athletes so weird. Like my schedule, I'll tell certain people different things if you call me, and I'm like a big yes guy. So if you catch me in the spot, I'm gonna say yes to you. I just always am. Oh yeah, no, definitely come by. You know, and then she doesn't know that person came by, so then it's hard to keep track of.
So how many memberships you got in your back end of your gym management? What does that look like?
I mean, I don't know. Total members, we looked the other day, like over the past 3 years is like, I don't know, 1,700.
But I'm saying like everybody's got it sounds like everybody's on a different plan with a special discount and a different price.
Oh,
and
it's just so
like
hard.
How do you keep track of your data, or is it just like you don't? You just there's more money every month.
No, but yeah,
that's good. Like
1 month, but you'll see like the curves and stuff, and you'll see which months are like the best and which months aren't. But a lot of times we'll just, you know, it'll pull up its graph chart, and you'll see like, all right, this came from this came from this, this came from this came from that.
Now you're 3 years in, you're probably not thinking a lot looking back, but you know, if someone's going to listen to this and vibe with your story, if you were giving yourself advice, you know, right before you opened up, maybe in that initial grind phase about to make the jump, what advice are you giving that person?
Just get out there. Get out there as much as you can and delegate work the right way. Because a lot of times people, when you learn to delegate work, like you can do so many different things. Like I can focus on the marketing. I don't have to worry about the emails. But when you have the right team in place, like it does make the worlds of a difference. Like just this week, like I don't do any scheduling anymore, right? Jordan took over all scheduling. She's going to take over all the back end stuff. Vanessa, my girlfriend, like she's been tremendous. And I'm hoping one day she can just work with us full time, because that would be 10 times easier. But like my sister, and as we grew, we started to delegate, but I wish I did it sooner, because there's a lot of things that I would, you know, instead of working in the business, you got to work on the business.
So how long were you doing everything until
2 years?
And so this is just like a year ago.
Yeah, just about this last year I started bringing on people.
And is it just because you were dying, or like?
It was more of just like.
Sounds like you're still working the same.
I'm working more than I ever did.
I can't see how you'd be working more than you already are.
More than I already am, because.
You gotta sleep, right? Like, how much do you sleep?
It's 4 hours a night, maybe 5 max.
Yeah, you gotta take a nap. That's what
I know. That's why like people are like, oh, why do you want to go out on a Friday or Saturday? I'm like, dude, like 6 p.m. I'm knocked out. I can't do it.
Yeah, I guess people don't really understand the sacrifice that it takes.
And they're like, oh, you know, you're not falling. You know, I'm like, dude, I physically can't keep my eyes open.
And any gym owner who's, you know, been through it has a story where they slept in the gym, or
we sleep
a lot of people do
3 times a year, every major event, because it's so early that we have to start setting up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So my girlfriend and my dog, and we just get an air mattress and we sleep on the floor.
Yeah, and some people, I've heard stories where they lived in the gym for extended periods of time. Like, it's not uncommon. So
no.
You know, you hear a lot of the people in the shows, you're hearing these numbers, and this sounds good, I can do math, and I get to work out all the time. And,
it's so hard to get to those numbers, though.
And they're just, a lot of gym owners hate working out, because it's just like you do so.
Honestly, I would go through phases, especially when I first started, and I was like, before I even had a trainer, I was teaching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was like, dude, I can't work out. I'm eating like shit. Like, I'm so tired. And I went home and I was almost crying. I'm like, why did I even open a gym? Like, this is miserable.
Yeah, we run this conference with, it's usually around 700 gym owners on the one side, 300 coaches on the other. And it's very obvious who the gym owners are and the coaches, because the coaches are in incredible shape and the gym owners just look like they've just been through the washing machine for the last
you realize
3
like
years.
You don't understand how hard it is to manage both. Like, even to do them, it's just like you don't have the time, or you don't want to do it because you're like, this is the last thing I'm worried about. Like, if I get an email right now that says, hey, your water broke, or you have to go fix this, like, I'm not worried about my workout. I can care less about my workout. I have to go make sure this is okay.
Right, or the flood, or, you know, finding time for all this stuff is very difficult, especially when you're in this phase where, you know, the numbers look good, but you don't feel rich because every day you're just
No, I feel so broke. It's unbelievable.
going back in,
I
going
feel
back
like
in,
I'm
going back
constantly
in.
working, and I'm like, I should have so much more money right now, but all my money has to go back into other nonsense.
to just grow. And some people do it another way, but like, yeah, and you know, it sounds like you're chasing a plan.
Yeah, chasing a plan.
Well, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're working the 18-hour grind, and
18 hour.
you've already done this podcast once before. Just
Yes.
the world will never see it.
Yeah.
For people who are interested in what you got going on, want to follow along your journey, where do they find you?
Instagram.
Yeah, what's your handle? You know it, or
It's Kevin with 2 N's and then Higgins with 2 S's.
okay, there you go. And then Stonefitt with
Stonefitt
2 T's.
Performance, 2 T's. Yeah.
just double down. We'll
Yeah.
link down to it
Cool.
in the show notes, and we'll continue to check up on your journey. See, maybe we'll have you on next year to see how the second
Yeah,
location
that
is.
would be cool.
Well,
We can see the difference between the Wadify and Kilo to see. we can
yeah, the
compare
lead
them.
flow. We'll do that.
Yeah, we should actually we should really sit down and go over Kilo.
We'll benchmark. This is like our Harvard study. We're
Yeah.
gonna follow a gym owner in the trenches through the year by year, see how it does.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
All right, Gym World, that is all we have for this week. If you enjoyed this, finding guys like Kevin is tough. Finding studios like this to record and getting him over here, just wrangling him, getting through those 777 text messages to get his body in this room, it is difficult, but we do that for you. And if you got a lot of value out of this, be sure to like and subscribe and pass this to maybe that gym owner trainer who's in the grind where Kevin was 3 years ago, and could get a lot of value from learning from him. All right, that's it for this week. We will catch you next week. Love you.
Awesome.